Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Scoot Scoot Fridays. We have a really exciting episode for you today because we are wrapping up a really big week here at Apollo, and no other person to help me bring the exciting news to the front other than Awa, our CTO, who obviously has been at the forefront of this latest development together with his R&D team. So, Awa, why don't you kick us off and tell us what did we announce this week?
Hi, hello. Thank you for having me on this incredible podcast. I'm sure you will. Yeah, pretty interesting week for hardware. We announced the Air upgrade kit, the City upgrade kit, and the Ghost upgrade kit. We announced their price and their release date. All of them were long awaited by our customers, so I was really excited to finally be able to show it at a price which excellent price like we always do for our existing customer and even the new customers with our discount. Yeah, I think it went super well. As people could see, we invested in a teleprompter, so now we're looking at the camera while doing the keynotes. Yeah, so maybe I can run you through the different upgrade kit that we announced.
So maybe Alva, just before we jump in, at a high level, and hi everyone, by the way, we see you joining in, and we also know where the questions or comments are being asked this time, so we promise not to bail on you at the end of this episode. But maybe more broadly, why are we doing upgrade kits? No other scooter company seems to be doing upgrade kits. They just release new scooters. Why do we bother in the first place?
I think it starts with we always want to keep customers that invested in us in the early days or at any time pretty much, but we want to keep them in the loop of the upgrades. And for us, how we design our models usually is that we're gonna just do incremental updates. So we got the scooter is 90% good and there's a little 10% that we think we can improve. So we're going to change, for example, for the Air and City, the new one, we're just changing there's a folding mechanism, the stem, but the most important part is the handlebar of it with the new throttle, the turning signal. So for us, it's really easy to just offer this part for customers to upgrade their scooter because the COM cable is the same, the controller is the same, so it's really already compatible. So we might as well package it in a really nice way and offer it to customers that bought the previous version. So that's the easy way, and there's a hard way like we did for the controller and the display and the throttle of the Ghost. This required a lot of work, and we made a pretty good post on Reddit explaining why we did the Phantom before the Ghost. But basically, like we said a lot of time already about the Mach 1 controller, it's pretty special because it can adapt itself to different motors and configuration. And it's even able to do, sine wave and square wave controller. So we started with the Phantom because this one was the one that required really the most. It was in need of an upgrade just because acceleration was so rough and jerky, really sporty, but it could be more smooth and keep the sporty feeling. So we started with the Phantom, a square wave controller, like most of you know, no sensors on the motor. And once we cracked that and we released it and it was stable, like we see now, the temperature is good, the defect rate is almost non-existent on the Phantom upgrade kit. Then we released it for the Ghost, and it was quite a challenge because we had to again adapt it from the square wave to the sine wave, and match all the connectors, obviously. So the big of the job was already done for the Phantom. We just adapted it a little bit for the Ghost, and now you get the same benefit pretty much.
So it sounds like that there's an idea in there that we want to say thank you to the people who believed in us early on, and maybe the products weren't perfect, like the Phantom V1 or the V2. Obviously, we try our best to make sure that the product is as good as possible, but eventually what we learn through community feedback and just additional testing sometimes reveals that maybe we should have optimized the controller further. Maybe we should have invested in a different kind of throttle, whatever. And so I think that what you're saying is really true, and that we want to say thank you for sticking through this experience with us. We want to make sure that you have access to the best hardware possible, and only then do we make these updates available in like a Phantom 2023 kind of installed out of the factory type of solution, right?
Yeah, and a lot of those things, it's not that we cheaped out originally, is that they simply didn't exist, or it was not what we were seeking. Like our throttle, we had to develop them ourselves. The same thing with the mobile app. We just didn't have a mobile app, so the idea of connecting the first Ghost to mobile app was like not even a consideration. And same thing for the region. We are the first one to do it on high power scooters. So it's not only that we could have done it better at first. The technology was not existing, and now that we are able to make it, we want to make anyone benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. And so what does that mean for our users? If they are, let's say, a Phantom V2 owner who just upgraded to the V3, does that mean that essentially all upgrade kits will trickle down into a Phantom 2023, like we did obviously in this case? I'm referencing, for example, the Ghost and the City and the Air. So is it fair to say that the City and Air and Ghost 2023 will exist, and will they just be the 2022 version plus the upgrade kits?
So the 2022, so the Ghost is going to be the 2023 Ghost, the one that we're going to sell this year, is going to be the 2022 Ghost, basically, and you can upgrade it with the kit. And it's pretty straightforward. We're going to release a video out of it, but it's the same thing as the Phantom, basically. So if anyone is curious how to install it, it's the exact same thing, even a little bit easier, because on this one you can remove the grip handle with screws, so you don't have to fight with it and pull on it. So even better than Phantom. For the Air and City, though, there's going to be different. The handlebar is a part of the 2023 release, but there's going to be other details, other new components. One of them is the stem. We reinforced it. The older one was definitely good enough. It's just a new one we are keeping, and we do this across all models now. We keep a welding line on it. So if it goes through like a off-road riding and everything, it's just better. Before we're buffing a welding line to make it cleaner. Now we keep it, we paint over it, and it looks just as good. And coupled with that is our new folding mechanism, which people can see on the Pro V5. So that's going to be a small update for the City. So folding mechanism, stem, handlebar. The handlebar that you saw, stem, you can see the difference, and the folding mechanism the same as the Pro. For the Air, we're going to be releasing a couple of new updates as well, like self-healing tires. We changed the structure of the fender at the back a little bit to be easier to change. The boat, and sorry, the last point about the City, we're going to bump the battery as well. It's going to get a little bit bigger because we had a little bit extra room to put even better cell. So we're going to bump it up to like a 20 Ah. Mm-hmm. The Air is going to remain 15 Ah, and it's going to benefit from all the same improvement that I mentioned with the City, which is the folding mechanism, the stem, and the new handlebar that we showed.
So, full well, what question comes next? Is it worth buying the 2022 models, or should I wait?
I think what people should do, 2023 is just going to be delivered later this summer, and we're going to do a proper presentation showing them everything. I would buy the Apollo scooters don't seem to lose values over time, or are very minimal. And because we have like the 21700 cell, which are going to it's the cell that they use in electric cars, so people know that now. It's great batteries. So what I would personally do is buy 2022. If I want the latest upgrade of 2023, I would buy the upgrade kit, ride with it until the 2023 is released, and then maybe you put back the 2022 handlebar and sell it as 2022, and you have an extra component for your 2023. But I don't want to miss a single day of riding, so I would buy it and then sell it when I want to upgrade.
Fair enough. And I think for the community that's been here for a while with us, you may have noticed at the beginning we would, like we did last year with the City 2022, open up pre-orders in March, and then sort of be stuck in a loop of trying to fulfill these orders and deliver them as quickly as possible, and then be subject to delays and customs holds and whatever. And so that was just a hugely frustrating process for both the customers and us, internally, because of the amount of work that it created. So we're now moving to a place where we either just do reservations like we're doing with the Pro right now, and when it's officially launching on, let's say, a crowdfunding platform, you obviously get access to that and you can buy it there. Or like in the case of the Air and the City, we'll basically just make it available the second we have the stock. So there's no more pre-orders. It's just reservations, or it's in stock. That's kind of how we're moving forward. So Eloi, before we dive into the specifics of what we are changing on the Air, City, and Ghost, I see there's already quite a few questions. So do you want to run us through a few of them?
Yeah, for sure. Now I know where to look to see them. So, all right. What's that new Mach 1 controller do? So I would suggest to check the V3 reviews that we have on our channel, or Electric Scooter Guide, to see about the Phantom. It's the exact same controller. So you have a new display with the new options as well. You see the time of your ride. You see remaining mileage left on the battery, the mileage that you did. You see the voltage. The display is bigger and brighter, same as Phantom again, and now it's in the center of the handlebar. So when you look at it, it's just less weird than usually you have it with the little finger index throttle. So look at the middle, it's super bright, super big. So just that alone is a nice improvement. We basically got rid of all the buttons on the handlebar, and now you just have 2 throttle with the integrated button. So for everyone who has the Ghost, you know that when you fold it, all those buttons get in the way, and that instead of being able to fold the handlebar like parallel, the 2 bar, it's like at a 45-degree. It's just weird. It's bad design, honestly. With the new one, because we get rid of all those components and you just have the 2 throttle, you can put the handlebar like this. So it's better. It's smaller when you try to store it. And then the Mach 1, well, it's more powerful. You have access to the Ludo. You have access to the mobile app. And more importantly than all of this, you have access to region brake. So you won't have to ever use your mechanical brake again or hydraulic brake. You just have it. It's like a video game. Yeah, but it's like a R2 and L2. What?
What are we calling the region brake from now on?
The RBS, the regenerative braking
Power
system.
RBS. That's the official name.
Yep. So all of this, again, go see the reviews of the Phantom, and that's going to give you a pretty good idea of what to expect for the Ghost.
Awesome. Cool.
Another question. Hello. Will you see increased top speed from the upgrade kit with the Ghost? Yes, the top speed is higher. I need to do more tests. And again, there's a way for us to... we are doing something with all the top speed of the scooter with the Mach 1 controller and the Mach 2. Like you might have seen in the video that we released of the Pro that we brought on the F1 circuit. The top speed of the Pro was 70, and we think we can boost it. It's the same thing with the Ghost. I think I can boost it, but more details on this coming soon. For now, it's at least the same top speed as before, and possibly more. From Sina, hi, are you planning to increase any of the following features of the next version of Phantom? IP rating, range, and tubeless tires. So as we mentioned before, we are not going to do another version of the Phantom. This one is the final one. Finally, everything is great about it. So that's the last version of the Phantom. Might be a little like improvement on the hardware side, but overall, I won't change the tire for tubeless. I won't change the IP rating. The Mach 1 controller was the last biggest update for the Phantom.
And maybe just to jump in, if you're looking for something with higher IP rating, more range, and tubeless tires, I recommend checking out the City 2023. It's going to address all of the above.
Yes, IP66 self-healing tires. The top speed is only 10 kilometers per hour different. So the City is definitely a great choice for this, and it's smoother and the suspension. Anyway, a lot of good improvement. From Dre Bay, upgrading to the Mach 1 kit with power RBS will allow you to will allow you to brake using the left region throttle instead of the mechanical brake, delivering super stopping power, less maintenance, and battery recharging during use. That's exactly it.
I think he's just answering the question about the Mach 1 controller, so thank you very much, Dre Bay.
Thank you. Do you know if there will be a Ghost 2023 soon? So no, it's going to be the 2022 you have access to the kit if you want to upgrade it, and everything is fantastic about this model already. The suspension folding, it's great. So we're gonna leave it like this.
So maybe I can just ask DC a question back. We have these conversations internally all the time, right? Like, do we have the capability of putting the Mach 1 controller in the Ghost at the factory? Yes, we do. But the reason we decided not to do it is because we think that the City 2023 is effectively replacing the same spot in the portfolio, if you will, right? Like, you're going to have a scooter with awesome suspension. It's going to be available in dual motor. You're going to have plenty of range from a spec perspective, and more importantly, price point. You're looking at relatively the same scooters. The only difference, of course, is that the Ghost was 52 volt and the City's 48 volt. So I would love to hear, DC, from you. What would be the incentive, the rationale, the logic behind being interested in the Ghost 2023 at, let's say, approximately $17.99 USD? If you could just let us know, that'd be awesome.
Nice. Quick question from Javier Garcia, one of our loyal customer. Could you elaborate on how exactly the self-balancing of the City Pro work or happen? Does it happen during charging when the charger turns green, or are the cells already balanced? Or does it need to be left plugged after green? Does a fast charger 5A balance the battery same as 3A? So quickly on that, and not spend too much time, the battery management system, the BMS, is within the battery pack, not the charger. So if you use the 3A or 5A, the charger, regular or fast charger, it's the exact same thing. The balancing happen at the end of the charging of the scooter. So when the light is green on the charger, all the cells are balanced. So it's gonna recharge from, let's say, 0% to 95% pretty quickly, and the remaining 5% is going to be slower because it's balancing all those cells. So long story short, as soon as the light is green on your charger, you're good to go. All your cells are balanced. From Stillwell Lee, I heard the Phantom 2023 V3 is the final version of the Phantom. Does that mean it will no longer get any more version and or upgrade kits? That's correct. Maybe small like a maintenance kit on the hardware side to help the customers that bought it years after years because we want to keep them safe, but no major improvement. Except it's basically already so good. I honestly don't know what else I can add. And if people want the crazy feature like the quad lock integrated wireless charger or the IoT or like the new display that we're going to release, there's going to be the Pro, the Explorer, and lastly the Lite. So we're going to switch completely our lineup, and people start seeing it with the new City and the Air and the Pro. So this is a direction that we are going towards. Yes. Okay. Maybe just FYI for people, details that. So you asked Match a question about will the Air and the City 2023 be different than the upgrade kit that we're going to release? And I mentioned the stem and fold-A mechanism. And if basically is worth upgrading now or waiting. All those parts, except for the Air self-filling tires, because it requires different motors and wheel. But for the stem and fold-A mechanism, we're going to make them available at our repair center. So if people want to upgrade just those parts, they're going to be available there. You can drop your scooter and we can upgrade the stem, the folding, the handlebar if you want. And same thing for the Ghost. If you don't feel comfortable installing it, we're going to do it for you, no problem. So with that being said, yes, I would even more upgrade it and just upgrade those parts. And we just, like any of those like critical parts, they are basically at cost. We're not making any money on the stem and the folding. So yes, I would do it. And am I forgetting something? No, that's it. Just FYI.
Cool. All right. Sina, I think again, can Phantom V3 holder expect upgrade kits? So we just addressed that one. Javier again, could you elaborate on how exactly the cell balancing? I think we did that one too.
Yes.
André,
yes. Can the use of two chargers simultaneously affect battery life negatively? 6 hours instead of 12 hours on the Phantom Ultra. The faster you charge your battery, the worse it is, basically. And that's with regular batteries even worse, like on 18650 regular small battery, like on the Ghost, for example. But when we talk about the City or all our new models, basically with the 21700 cell, it's basically not changing anything with the rate that we are charging. It's so minimal. So yes, it will affect it maybe by 2 to 5%. So it's not a lot, but yes, in general, with any batteries, the faster you charge it, the more like crystal, it's dendrite that's going to build into each cell, and that's going to affect the long.
That could be an interesting topic to dive into deeper, maybe on a separate occasion, just like batteries more broadly and what are the best practices. For everyone here, we have just completed actually a really interesting series internally at Apollo called Scooter School, where we went through 4 or 5 sessions that really went quite deep into the technical aspects of scooters, just to educate our new team. So maybe we could basically repurpose some of the content and share externally.
Oh, definitely.
Ian, City Pro better start with than a Ghost. I think as a first scooter, absolutely. I don't know if you have any other thoughts.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
awesome.
The City is one of my favorites, so I'm biased.
Yeah, it's a really great scooter, and obviously, like, we've been pretty public about the kinks that needed to be worked out on the first batch. But the 2023, which we've been testing for the last couple of months now, it's exactly right. Like there's really no further improvements we can think of for that scooter. So really excited to reveal it. Nibbles, hi Apollo, thank you for doing this podcast. I ordered my first electric scooter from you guys and I'm really excited about it. However, I ordered it 10 days ago and order is still unfulfilled. Yes, Nibbles. So first of all, thank you very much for your support. We do not take it lightly. There is a handful of customers that have been affected by fulfillment delays. The reason for it being is an internal system switch, which ultimately disconnected our information from the third-party fulfillment centers. So rest assured, everything is back on track as of Monday, and regular fulfillment has been resumed this week. It's just we're working through the backlog of orders that are being fulfilled, so you can expect yours probably to be fulfilled as of Monday onwards. So rest assured, we're back on track, and it's just a question of days.
Nice.
Andral again.
Is there a wired USB phone connector on the Hyper Pro? No, it's a wireless charger that's going to allow you to charge your device. And there's already way too much electronic on that headset. The turning signal, the wireless charger, now the display, the speaker, the headlight. I cannot add anything in it. So no, wireless charging, which help with the IP66 that we can get out of it, instead of having a hole for like a USB Type-C, for example. So yeah, for now, just this one.
2023 Pro. Okay.
Yeah, Dre Bay. Since the 2023 Pro already.
I think he's referring to the last video. Okay, so when we say it's ready, we meant it's completed, but that doesn't mean they have been produced yet. So actually, this could be interesting. Eloi and myself are headed to China in 2 weeks to personally oversee the production of the beta units before they ship out to our customers. So if there's any requests, content, anything you'd like to see about how the products are made, let us know. Where we'll be happy to capture that content and share it in either here or through YouTube or something. Drebe, unfortunately, they're not ready. They have not been produced yet. We're not making any changes. We're very confident in the design. We think it's perfect. Now it's just a question of having them produced in 2 weeks, and then they'll be on their way. So Nibbles, I think we just addressed that one. Cena, so what model will replace the Phantom? Because I feel the City doesn't really replace the Phantom. Interesting question.
That's true. Maybe let us know what you would like to see. We think that there's a couple of tweaks we can do with the City that can bring it to the level of the Phantom. The motor power that's easy, the controller, we already have all that technology. With the throttle that it's set and everything, we're going to be releasing more soon, but there's definitely a way for us to bridge that gap.
Yeah, so one of the things you'll notice more broadly across the portfolio is that we're sort of moving away from insane performance and towards really well-rounded scooters. A lot of that comes from this insight that we were able to gather as a result of our scooters being smart and app-enabled. We see riders that have scooters that go up to 60, 65 kilometers per hour, and the average speed with which they ride is about 25 miles per hour. So we're just seeing there's a huge discrepancy between the potential performance of the scooter and the actual use of the scooter. And so a lot of the scooters we're designing are more based around the overall riding experience, things like safety and security features, rather than just pure raw speed and acceleration. So rest assured, we are thinking about kind of our portfolio in 3 ways. We're thinking about it as having a performance scooter like the Pro and sort of the Phantom right now. And then we're looking at kind of a middle section, which would be more for the commuters, so like the City today. And then later on, we're looking at really entry-level scooters that can be used in a variety of use cases. Okay. Andrel, I'm supposed to be on a pro beta list, but I haven't received any contract or documentation or confirmation with any detail whatsoever. So it's possible that you were not contacted because you don't meet the requirements of the beta program. However, if you think that you do, please reach out to us at support@apolloscooters.co and request to be put in touch with one of the employees in charge of the beta program, and they'll be able to give you a hand with that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Then we have
the next one.
Yeah, so Ellie, notice that all future Apollo scooters is going to have regen thumb throttle alongside drum brakes. What does this put Phantoms? Where does Phantom fit in the Apollo? So the new Phantom has a thumb throttle for the regen with this brake, just like the Ghost, and it's going to remain like this. I'm not going to change the motors, but all our future models, the new one that we're going to release, not iterations, will indeed all have drum brake with thumb throttle. So this is where the Phantom is, the lineup. DC in the app, it would be great to be able to adjust speed, acceleration, and brake for every gear individually. Is there any plan for it? Yes, I believe it's going to be released in the second half of May. But yeah, you're going to be able to select not the acceleration and regen for every gear, because honestly, it's too complicated, because you need to enter deeper setting of the scooter when you want to play with those advanced settings. And to enter those settings, like the whole scooter need to be in UF mode. Anyway, I'll spare you the details, but we think that because when your scooter is in lower speed, the acceleration and regen are also being adjusted automatically. Like you don't have the same acceleration when you are in eco mode and sport mode. Just being able to give the possibility for customers to adjust the speed of every single gear, that's going to be enough. And that's yes, that's in the plan. We're talking about it this morning, actually. Me and Match and Derek, the head of our software side. When will Extend be available for purchase?
So in the US, it's already available, if that's what you're referring to. However, I think the way it's set up right now is that you have to be buying a scooter in order to be able to purchase Extend. We did say it would be available for anyone who's purchased in the last 365 days, and that is still the case. We're basically just waiting to, without getting into the details, to get the necessary permissions from Extend to start reaching out to those customers and offer them the opportunity to purchase Extend. If you are, however, located in Canada, then unfortunately we don't have any concrete dates we can share at this time. We are still working with Extend to get a bit more information on when that will be available.
Perfect. Dribe, as a team, try fitting the Mach 1 for the Ghost to the front plastic and have it stick out horizontally. I know the fins would be perpendicular to airflow, but would the exposure provide any noticeable cooling? I'd be willing to provide CAD and even test it. Lol. So yes, as soon as you put the controller outside of the body, the cooling is way better, like we see on the Pro. It's completely different. So yes, it would be better. I think there's a couple things, like the waterproofness would be affected. To your point, now you would probably be required to have like a 3D printer to print a box outside. So I wanted to do something inside the body that would look the exact same. So that's why we did it like this. But yes, if you want to provide a 3D file and do it, that would be great. That's something we were talking about before, maybe having a 3D file section on the website, so the community can submit design that they do. Like, there's the screw-on charging port, or there's little sun visor for the display, like all those little things. It would be great to have them on one spot on the website. So yes, please send them.
We did just launch the innovation page, which is a kind of a new activity and initiative, if you will, moving forward. That will regroup all of our innovation themed projects. So that would probably be a good place to add this kind of section. So I'll take note of
that. Sina, any approximate time, price expect on the new Explorer? Are we going to be releasing the video soon? Match, what is?
Yes. So the plan is to announce the official keynote of the Explorer 2024 on May, what did we say, May 24th. So now that we've officially said it publicly, we're going to be held accountable to that date. So May 24th is when we release the keynote. It's when we release the reservation page for the Explorer. And the Friday after that, the Friday of that week, we'll be doing a full session like this dedicated to the new Explorer. So again, it's actually really, really important that everyone who's watching today, please bookmark that date. So Friday the 26th, we would love to get your feedback on the Explorer. The reason we're releasing it so early is precisely for that exact reason, to show it to you, to tell you about this unique form factor, because it's not really like a normal scooter. It's still a scooter by its definition, but it looks completely different. It acts completely different. It does completely different things. So we really feel like it's either going to make or break our company. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a home run or a total flop, basically.
It's going to be polarizing, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So the more feedback we can get from you, the better. So please stay tuned for the announcement on the 24th, and then tune in on the 26th.
Fantastic. Looking at the recent reveal of the Explorer and Lite, I've noticed we haven't revealed the Lite though. Just to be clear, the thumbnail that you see is the old Lite that we put there, the blackout version. Don't think this is a new Lite. I've noticed you're all going for a more minimalistic look with minimal maintenance. The Phantom will soon look like the odd one out. So yes, when we designed the Phantom, it was, well, first of all, our first scooter, and it was not to serve the same purpose. We're looking to do something like aggressive, to do like a bit of off-roading, but that's the look that we were going for. With the new scooters, well, I'm glad that you can see that we are progressing in our design language. But yes, we're going to go for something that with minimal maintenance. I think that's the theme, and with this trend of design, those colors, those line, type of those choice of components as well. That being said, the Phantom is still fantastic, and if you want to go a little bit more like off-roading with it, like just a more aggressive riding, I would still suggest it. And with the Mach 1 controller, it's basically as smooth as those new models. So some people prefer the aggressive style design of it, and some other people look for the minimalist one. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks. I just want to be mindful of time. We're a couple minutes over, so let's do a little rapid fire situation. John Lee, which was coincidentally the name of my roommate in university. Canada Extend. Of course, we really want to be able to offer Extend to our Canadian customers. It's where we're from, and it's where we always go back to. The reality is Extend has limited capabilities at this time, so we are working really hard on making it available as soon as possible. So please, we're not giving up. Stay tuned, and we'll be able to bring it over hopefully in the next couple of months. Next up, we have self-heating tires on my Phantom V3. Impossible, correct, Eloi?
Impossible.
Okay. Upgrade kit for the City 2022. Is it compatible with the City Pro as well as, I guess, yeah, is it compatible with the City Pro?
Yes. So just on that note, something we forgot to mention, the Air and City upgrade kit are compatible with the 2022, but the Air upgrade kit 2023 is not compatible with the 2021, because in the 2021, we didn't have a regen brake. So it doesn't allow it. So sorry for those customers. But so 2022 can upgrade 2023, but not 2021.
Okay. And then Stillwell had a comment about the Phantom Bolt. So yeah, as we mentioned on Reddit, it is part of our regular maintenance package. Without getting into the details, essentially, it's really important that you keep the bolt tightened regularly so that it doesn't create any potential risks. So we just recommend reviewing either the instruction manual that's included in the box or referencing the materials available on our website for a full, complete run-through of the maintenance steps of the Phantom to make sure that you're riding as safely as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Lastly, something we should. So, what is actually in the City and Air upgrade kit? You have the new handlebar. This one has the V8 throttle on it, the 8th iteration of our throttle. Hopefully, the last one. 2 turning signal on each end. The new folding mechanism hook. So when you clip it to the body, it's gonna stay clipped instead of unlatching. And I know how annoying this was. And lastly, a new headlight that you can adjust the position. It's also brighter, more focused, the beam, and there's a reflector in front. Quite honestly, because it was coming with the light, but it's also safer to just have a reflector, and it's part of new regulations as well. So this is what is completing it. And on the actual box, you have for the City a new reinforced kickstand. It's still plastic, but the internal part that was breaking before is now metal. So we had the problem of the little tip flipping, and it was just loose around the kickstand spinning. So this now was fixed. On the Air, the kickstand is already steel, so there was no need for an improvement on that aspect. This is what is in the box. For the Ghost, you have the controller, the display, the 2 throttle, the battery adapter, and the bracket to fit on the Ghost itself to adapt it. We included also wiring diagram, so every connector is what. And lastly, thermal pad. That's something that we didn't put for the Phantom. The customer needed to buy it because of custom and duty clearance. Anyway, now we were able to put it right inside the box from the factory. So it's just going to be more convenient when you install it. You have the thermal pad that is already there, and it's going to help for cooling of the controller.
Beautiful. Okay. I think that is it for questions today. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you hadn't already visited our website to check out the upgrade kits, and if you are considering one, we strongly do recommend you go ahead and place your reservation and pre-order as soon as possible, as we are producing limited batches. So the sooner you order, the higher the chance of success in terms of getting one. Eloi, is always a pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for all of your insights. Next week, we have an exciting one as well. We'll be talking about maintenance more broadly, and we're going to be getting into some best practices around how to make sure that you continue to ride safely. So we hope to see you all there and then. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.